Today we're going to read Uno's Garden. Let's first have a look at the front cover. Have a little think about what you think the book might be about.
Uno's Garden. Uno arrived in the forest on a beautiful day at the very beginning of spring. There to welcome him were 10 magnificent Moopaloops and one completely ordinary Snortle Pig. Uno loved the forest so much he decided to live there. Uno climbed above the treetops. The forest seemed to go forever. Swinging through the branches were 9 leaping lumpy bums and the completely ordinary Snortle Pig. Others followed Uno. They loved the forest too. They built houses and boats, watched by 8 feathered fickle pots, and the Snortle Pig, of course. Uno began work on a little garden. The fishermen's children played games amongst the trees. They counted 7 playful paddle buds, plus 1 Snortle Pig. A little village grew. Some hunters went into the forest, looking for sneaky Snattlebites. There were 6, but the hunters didn't catch them, or the Snortle Pig. Tourists came. They saw 5 timid tumble-tops, but that was all. Uno kept working in his garden. The village became a town. Then the railway was built. Excited passengers watched for the wild animals. They caught a glimpse of 4 glazing ganopods and what was that other funny-looking creature back there? The town had become a city. A team of scientists arrived to study the animals. 3 flipper flappers was all they found. The city grew bigger and bigger, and the forest grew smaller and smaller. Some workers came across 2 pointy pickled backs. They had never seen anything like them before. A lone fisherman set his line into the river. He caught a car tire, several boots, and a cold. He didn't see the Snortle Pig. In fact, nobody seen one for so long people weren't even sure they existed. One grey morning, the people of the city woke up, looked at their endless buildings, and were sad. Why did we live in a place like this, they asked themselves. There were no trees, so they left. The city was dark and abandoned. Uno opened his door and looked out. Sitting there in the garden amongst the plants that Uno had saved was the Snortle Pig, completely ordinary in every way, except that it was there. The Snortle Pig lived in Uno's garden for many years. The city crumbled, forgotten. The Snortle Pig grew old and died. So did Uno, but the garden lived on. Uno's children continued to care for the little collection of trees and plants, and slowly the forest returned. The children kept a diary of their discovery. 2 painty picklebacks, 3 flipper fluffers, 4 grazing gallopers, 5 timid tumbletops. Over the years, Uno's garden added to the list 6 sneaky snagglebites, 7 playful puddlebugs, 8 feathered fricklepots, 9 leaping lumbers, 10 magnificent melaleucs, and on a beautiful day at the very beginning of spring, the forest and the city found themselves in a perfect balance. Stories were even told of the days when an extraordinary creature had lived in Uno's garden. The children listened with wide eyes, and they never stopped believing that one day they would see a real live snorkel pig for themselves.
Now, after reading the book, it's time to answer some questions. You'll find that questions are posted in the homework folder. First question: who started to live in the forest? Name some of the animals that were in the book. Why did the animals start to disappear? Why did the trees not survive? Describe what it would be like to live in a place without trees and plants. And why would a city with no trees and plants be bad for the... Answer these questions and bring them to school tomorrow.